Another man to possibly replace Chavez would be his vice president, Nicolas Maduro. I spoke with Latin American experts Joseph Humire, executive director at the Center for a Secure Free Society, and Michael Shifter, president, Inter-American Dialogue, to find out if Maduro is indeed the next Chavez.
No, generally Nicolas Maduro is the next Nicolas Maduro. He's definitely going to continue the same policies, the same direction that Chavez has, created in Venezuela. But as far as creating like a political figurehead for the region, I definitely attribute that role to probably Rafael Correa from Ecuador, who's definitely have a bit more of a symbolic presence in the role of the Bolivarian project known as ALBA.
Michael Shifter, you agree with that?
Well, I think Maduro is going to be the next president, most likely, of Venezuela. He doesn't have Chavez's charisma. He's a very different figure than Chavez. He's going to have a hard time holding all the different factions of Chavez together. He's going to have his handful in Venezuela. Venezuela is going through a very serious economic crisis and a security crisis. I don't think there's going to be a replacement for Chavez regionally at the regional level. I don't think Correa is a great communicator. He has great rhetorical skills and talents, but he's not Chavez. He doesn't have the money that Chavez has. He doesn't have the ambition and vision that Chavez has. And so I think that's going to be left vacant, that role.
Michael, if we look at the inevitable election which is going to come, and as you point out, Nicolas Maduro will win that election. The fact that he will win, does it mean that the Venezuelan, in the eyes of the Venezuelan voter, they're the same guys?
The Chavez and Maduro are the same guys? No, not at all. No, I think it's, no, I don't think so. I think there's going to be a compassion effect, a sympathy effect. Chavez and Chavismo is going to be strong even after Chavez dies. But I think everybody recognizes that Maduro is a very different figure. He's been a yes man, a loyalist of Chavez for many, many years. He hasn't had to make real decisions on his own. He's going to be put to a real test. He's going to have to share power with other leaders of Chavismo, Diaglouge, the head of the National Assembly, Rafael Ramirez, who was the head of PDVSA, the state-owned oil company. They're going to really have to work things out. No one can kind of keep all of these different groups together as Chavez did for 14 years. And so it's going to be a very, very different situation. But I think that the popularity of Chavez, the sympathy for Chavez, and of course the opposition, one has to note, is in a very, very bad way. They're demoralized, they're fragmented. They lost in October, they lost again in December. And so there's really very, very the weak challenge to Chavismo. So they're in a very strong position to be elected. And then I think the trouble is going to start. It's going to get complicated.
Okay, we've just got a few seconds left. Let me ask you first, Joseph, are we going to see major differences in the relationship between Venezuela and the United States?
I don't project any major differences in the immediate future. I mean, this is going to generally be, although there's a lot of rhetoric, anti-American rhetoric coming from the Venezuelan government, and Maduro, I think, will continue that, maybe not to the same flair that Hugo Chavez has, but the trade relationship still continues. I mean, the U.S. is the largest consumer for their oil exports. We also have a trade relationship on other products, so I think that'll continue for the foreseeable future. But you might want to pay attention to some of their alliances with anti-American actors from other parts of the world, particularly Iran, Russia, and see how those actors are influencing the hemisphere today.
Let me get Michael's take on that.
Well, I think rhetorically and publicly you're going to hear the same anti-Americanism from Maduro. But I think we may be surprised that behind the scenes he's going to want to open up channels of communication and even explore some ways to cooperate with the United States. He's not the same as Chavez. He's more of a traditional politician in Venezuela than Chavez is. Chavez is a unique figure, and there was no possibility for any communication. I think you're going to see that a little bit, at least behind the scenes. But rhetorically, it's going to be a very tough line.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.